What's good, Joe? Welcome to this week's Edge. So no hype, just real numbers. So let's get straight into it. And from my previous video, I highlighted zones. I was looking out on BTC and the short level I will be looking to take profit from. I'll be doing more of, or I'll be talking more of fundamentals rather than technicals in this particular video. And before we get into it, I would be making an official video as regards my 10K challenge to 100K in payouts this week. The video will be dropping this week, so you'll have to wait for that. So let's get straight into technicals before we dive deep into fundamentals and the major news events we'll be looking at this week, and a couple of altcoins and how this news will also affect the crypto market in general. So, like I said, I got stopped out twice, right? And I'm looking at two different things now. This is one where we initially created new lows from. If this zone holds, we'll be coming down to 105K as previously discussed. But if the zone doesn't hold and this particular point, this PY, should create a bullish candlestick for a buy, then we'll be riding it to the top to 123K. But the whole thing honestly kind of really depends on whatever the outcome of the major news event we're having this week is. But I'm a big believer of technicals follow fundamentals. Like if your technicals is right 70-80% of the time, you don't really have to worry about fundamentals. But since we have two buyers now and we're just like sitting on our hands, it's just best to wait to get a confirmation before we like make any decision. So this is what I'm looking at on BTC. It's either we push up straight from here, or we break this zone and come down. The reason I'm highlighting this point of interest is because we have an inducement that already broke structure. This inducement broke structure, so it should get taken out and we push up, or we just break down as previously discussed again. So yeah, regarding my 10K prop challenge, I did pass my evaluation phase with a 10-hour trade. I closed BTC at break even at about $70-80 thereabouts at break even. Not really break even, but then I think a 1 hour or 2 hour thereabouts. But then it wasn't BTC that passed the evaluation account. It was a trade out. I'll probably show you all, but again, the official video will be out this week. So talking about news events, we have three major events this week. Now, what we're looking at is either CPI or BTC. So one's definitely going to play out. It's either technicals go just fine on BTC, or CPI defines technicals, which is focused on BTC. So the three major news events we have this week are CPI on Tuesday, I guess. Wednesday, we'll have the official FOMC statement where we'll know if there would be a rate cut or not. Wednesday should be 17th. And 18th, we're looking at unemployment claims. So these are the three major news events. Unemployment claims literally means if there are more people jobless, then there would have to be a rate cut. So if it's just like weighing options, supply and demand, literally. So these are the three major news events we have this week, and BTC is that one setup that could define what September would look like. But historically, again, September is more like a bearish month. But let's see how things play out from these two zones. We were looking at this and this. So that's regarding BTC. So whatever, if there's a rate cut, an official statement that there's a rate cut, if the actual is in is by our side and dollar is being reduced, the pricing is being reduced, then we should see BTC pushing up. But if it's otherwise, I doubt there would be any pump in the crypto markets this month. In fact, we might be bearish all through this month. This is 18th. So that's it that as regards technicals, fundamentals rather. So the major calls I'm looking at are two. Sarah is already triggered. The second setup I have is yet to trigger. So we should be riding Sarah to 0.13 or 0.14 thereabouts. As if the setup does hold, but I see no reason why it shouldn't hold. But it's crypto, it's the market. You don't really know what happens until it happens. And prompt USDT. This is yet to trigger, but the setups are quite similar. So we're riding this to about 0.25 thereabouts. Then the setup that passed my 10K accounts. And full transparency, I'll be sharing every process of my prop journey here, every setup I've taken. This was the setup that passed my 10K account. 9.95 are almost 10, but it did pass it, so. And I'm looking at MYX, yep. MYX USDT, we should be seeing something around $1.0308. If it comes down here, I'm riding to the top. To be honest, I'm riding it back to $17, but we need to touch $1 first. So that's it on BTC and the halt I'm looking at. So let's see what happens this week. So it's more like, I wouldn't really say an actual war, but it's more like a war between if there would be a rate cut or if BTC would push up. So let's just see how it works hand in hand. And regarding the whole rate cut, I honestly do think it's the Feds, or the way it's supposed to work is Feds are supposed to come out with this decision when they say they want to cut rate, right? Or they probably just cut it. So it doesn't have to be a presidential push for them to say, okay, you have to cut rates. So since it's not the Fed's initial decision, or it's not them pushing to cut rates, I don't really think it would be a good thing. But let's see how it goes from here. Let's see how it goes. So I would post another video this week and another the coming week. That would be like the next week's edge. So I'll catch you all in the next video, and peace out.